right, here come the players for JV action. Out of the Mavs locker room, down there to our east. Kansas City Knights versus the St. Joe Griffons in a JV tilt. Sullivan will be in net for the Griffons. We'll see if it's Dinsmore or Talbert for the Knights. I'm guessing Talbert will get the nod. We'll see if she does or not. Dinsmore got a couple periods in that varsity game as his Knights scored early and often. Final score ended up being 8-2, so Dinsmore got the full game last night. 2 periods here this morning in some varsity action, so I'm guessing Talbert. We'll see. She'll go into net now for some warm-ups. Dinsmore obviously just coming off the ice from the varsity games, already warmed up. Sullivan warmed up already for the Griffins, so JV2 action coming up next. Scheduled over on the main arena in Cable Dahmer, so we'll have to break everything down, haul it next door. Probably won't pack it up, just take it back in pieces and plug and play and see if we can get set up before the start of that game. They'll be taking on the Ice Hawks in a rematch from last night's game. Ice Hawks getting a 4-1 victory over the Knights JV2 team. And then next week, the varsity and JV1 will be down in Wichita. Couple games on Saturday afternoon, early evening. Couple games Sunday morning, and then that'll be the end of the first half of the season. We'll be off for Christmas break and New Year's. Still waiting on the schedule to come out to find out if we play the week between New Year's and the tournament we'll go to in Louisville or not. I'm assuming there will be games. Hoping to make it down to Arkansas to watch the daughter compete with Auburn and the Arkansas Razorbacks, but it happens to be the same weekend as that tournament. So Heather will be heading off to watch Marissa and Fayetteville, and me and Chase will be heading the other direction to Louisville, Kentucky. Ready to blow. Yeah, yeah. All right, 13 minutes is on the clock. They're going to gather up pucks, and we'll get this thing underway. Scheduled for 8:30, so running about 15 minutes late. So we will hope to get the start of the JV2 action. We do have about an hour and 50 minutes, but it'll be tight. All right, let's see who the Knights will bring out. Looks like we got Chikaini, Neal, and Busher. To start this one off, Chicani will come left, Busher will go right, Neal to the center to take on Cons. McClin and Brown will start it on defense. We got Talbert in net and Sullivan in net, and here we go. Busher will backhand it down into the corner. Neal will chase after it. Griffins send it back up the half wall. Here's Cons. Up the left-hand side. Poked away by McClin, grabbed by Brown. Cross-eyes pass, just past Neal, tapped by Chicani. Chicani up the left-hand side, tries to backhand it to Neal as he goes right to the slot in front of Sullivan. And a big battle down below, loose puck. They'll blow it dead. And an early, is that a penalty? Bronner? Nope. I don't know why they blew it dead. We'll face it off in the Griffin zone. 12:32, main in the first just underway. Cons with the face-off win. Slaps it off the half wall, comes right to McClin. He continues to race back, sends it the other way. Now grabbed by the Griffins, dump back into the Knight zone. They'll get back on side, right to McClin. McClin to Neal. Neal cross ice, right to Busher, bounces off his stick. He'll come down low and grab this one back behind Sullivan. Neal hits the bench, in comes Fortner. Loose puck, grabbed by Fortner. Griffins clear it back out, in comes Honan. Now this will be Morrison down low. Over to McClin near side. Back to Fortner, back behind Talbert. Fortner sends it up to Susie Honan. She'll backhand it across ice. Behind Fortner in front of Wiebe, up into the net it goes. They'll blow it dead, face off in the Griffin zone. So Morrison and Becker on the defense. Fortner will be at center. Susie Honan to the left. Kellen Wiebe to the right. Face-off comes over towards Wiebe. She'll battle in the corner. Griffins come away with it. Now loose puck comes right out to Wiebe. Poked away by the Griffins. Past Becker all the way down into the Knight zone. Becker will grab this one. Back behind Talbert. Up the half wall towards Honan. To Fortner. Fortner pokes it out a little too far out in front of himself. Now Susie will have to wait for Fortner to get onside. She'll dump it down deep. Into the corner. Comes up high to Becker. Shoots wide of the net. Grabbed by Fortner. Back up high to Becker once again. Blocker saved by Sullivan. And now we got Danbury coming up here. Breakout. Takes a shot. Talbert with a save. Cleared by Morrison. Fortner out ahead to Wiebe. Wiebe will come to the left. Susie goes to the right. Poked away by the Griffins. Morrison races up, keeps it in the zone. Now Wiebe will battle against the half wall. Griffins come away with it. Graham sends it back in and no icing, and they're going to wave that one off. Said it was deflected. This will be Conroy. Back behind Sullivan, pressured by fast Freddie Richter. Here comes Diaz, loose puck. Powell will dump it into the Knight zone. Diaz and Conroy get tangled up. Back behind Talbert, this will be Graham. Off the half wall towards Brookfield. Has it deflected back into the corner. Now Richter will come down and battle for it. Graham comes away with it, chips it past out into the neutral zone. Brookfield has it poked away from himself. Now he'll regain the puck. Cons with a forecheck. Grabs the puck, skates in on Talbert, takes a shot. Talbert with a save. And Goins is going to get a late penalty on Goins. And Goins will go to the sin bin for roughing at the end of the play. He not happy, slams the door. Sin bin brought to you by Westport Flea Market Bar and Grill. Neal and Busher check in, along with McClin and Brown. Cleared by the Knights, down into the Griffin zone. Neal will race for it, Johnson will race for it. Johnson gets there first. Up the half wall, Powell gets it out into the neutral zone to Cons. Cons up the right, Brown's right in front of him, bounces it off Brown. Brown will get the steal, chips it up high through the neutral zone. Bronner will come back for the Griffins and grab this one, chips it up towards Johnson. Neal will get the steal. Neal up the right-hand side, centers it up front. Brown shoots, scores! Kansas City goal! Number 53, Caleb Brown. From number 71, Chase Neal. That's a short-handed goal. 8:39 remaining in the first. Knights strike first, 1-0. Face-off one. Road will send it back behind Talbert off to the far side. Brown will grab this one. Backhanded up, loses it. Back behind Talbert. Now slap it down. Takes a big body check. McClin lifts a stick, grabs the puck, gets it back to Brown. He'll wrap it around the half wall. Road will hold it in. Nice body check there by Neal. Tried to separate that puck. Road keeps the puck alive for the Griffins. Or I guess that's Johnson. Conroy will hold it at the blue line. Sends it back behind Talbert. This will be Brown. Brown's got some room to skate from the blue line. Sends it over the top of the post over Sullivan. Grabbed by Busher. In comes Chikine. He'll go right to the front of the slot. He'll take a shot. Goes wide of the net. Cleared by the Griffins. They're going to say no icing, so McClin will come back for this one. Gets it to Busher. Busher pass goes back behind Chikine. He was heading to the left. Nice job by Chikine to hold that momentarily in the Griffin zone. Big check by Chikine right at the red line. Morrison can't get it cleared. Now it finally comes out. This will be Conroy. In comes Wiebe, right to the stick of Wiebe. Wiebe leaves it for Fortner. Has it poke checked away, grabbed by the Griffins. Cleared back out to neutral. Becker will dump it back into the Griffin zone. Clearing pass back out to neutral. This will be to Becker. He'll bring it over near side towards Honan. Grabbed by Morrison, cross eyes, tried to get it to Fortner. Cleared by the Griffins, right back over to Becker, dumped back into the Griffin zone. Morrison sends it ahead to Fortner. Fortner into the Griffin zone, back to the middle. Off to the far right, to his backhand, down into the corner, loses the puck. Tries to send it up the half wall. Road will clear this one out to Cons, but deflected by Morrison. Honan will send it back low. Conroy around the half wall. Becker holds it. Deflected up front. Up to Cons, cleared back out to neutral. Dumped back in by Becker. Honan will get onside. Here comes Wiebe with a forecheck. Early pass. Comes back to Becker, tipped off of Honan's stick into the Griffin zone. Bronner will grab this one. In comes Fast Freddy. He'll work a forecheck. Comes over near side. Loose puck. Cleared out into neutral. Grabbed by Diaz. Poked down low. Around the half boards. Morrison holds it. Now Cons is going to get a breakaway. Up the left-hand side. Shoots and scores just over the glove of Talbert. And with 5:18 remaining the first, Griffins have tied it at 1 off the breakaway goal from Cons. Richter, Brookfield, Diaz will check in for this face-off here at neutral ice. Goins and Graham on the defense. Knights are back at full strength. Danbury and Richter. Face-off comes to Diaz. Right up front to Brookfield. Loses the puck, little body check, continues to battle for it. Now centered up front, just off the stick of Diaz. Out to McManus. Loose puck, grab Brookfield, over to Diaz. Diaz up the left-hand side, back to his forehand. Tries to go through the middle. Sullivan will jump on top of this one. Face-off in the Griffin zone, 4:45 remaining in the first.
This game is brought to you by Power Electric. Power puts people first.
Busher, Neal, Chikini check in on the forwards. Graham and Goins stay out there on the defense. Chikini will go right, Busher goes left, Neal to the center spot against Danbury. Wins the face-off. Now poked away just past Goins, and it's a one-on-one. Graham will send him right. Nice poke check. Pushes it ahead. This will be, Neal thought about going after the puck. Delayed offsides. Comes to Graham. Graham around. Cons over to Neal. Neal back through the middle, pokes it ahead. Sullivan will jump on top of this when they'll blow it dead. Another face-off in the Griffin zone. 4:15 remaining in the first. We're tied at 1. Graham and Goins hit the bench. Brown and McClin will come out on the defense. Forwards will stay the same. Chikini and Busher will switch sides, though. Comes to Busher, up high to Brown. He'll take a shot from the blue line right into the gut of Sullivan. Neal and Busher both there waiting on the rebound, but Sullivan smothered that one. We'll face it off in the Griffin zone once again with 4:09 remaining in the first. Face off one, Neal over to Busher. McClin at the blue line. On his backhand, skates in. Back behind Sullivan. Through the crease. Crosses ice. Over near side. Brown and Neal both battling for it. Neal with a quick shot. Sullivan with a save. Tough angle there by Neal as he was way down by the red line. Now cleared by the Griffins, and we're going to get an icing on this. Face-off back to the Griffin zone with 3:34 remaining in the first. Knights will keep everybody the same. Chikini, Neal, and Busher, McClin, and Brown. Neal and Danbury will battle it out. They did a few face-off battles in the varsity game also, tied up right at the red line. Chikini will step up. Now the Griffins will get it cleared to neutral. Bronner up the left-hand side, brings it into the Knights zone, takes a shot, grabbed by McClin. Now he'll look for the quick outlet pass right to Neal. Leaves it for Chikini, comes to the stick of McClin. He'll take a shot, deflected, goes up high. Now cleared by the Griffins. Icing will be the call again. Knights will switch it up this time. Fortner, Wiebe, and Honan will check in on the forwards. Morrison and Becker will come in on the defensive side. Face off in the Griffin zone. 3:01 remaining in the first. Tied at 1. Brown from Neal got him going, the Knights going early, 8:39 remaining in the first. And then Cons for the Griffins with a breakaway goal off over Talbert. Cleared by the Griffins. And we're going to get another icing. Face-off will come back to the Griffin zone. Face-off will come near side. Fortner will take this. Honan will go left. Wiebe will go to the right. Face-off comes to Wiebe. Now to Honan. Loose puck. Fortner will steal this one. Comes to his backhand. Being pressured by the Griffins. Now cleared by the Griffins, out to neutral. Off the stick of Morrison, Cons will dump it into the Knights zone. Chases after it, down low. Becker went for the big hit, missed on that. Wiebe takes a shot. Fortner doesn't like it, goes after Cons, and they're yapping at each other. And now Fortner's going to get a slash, I believe. Cons goes to the bench. Fortner goes to the sin bin.
This game brought to you by CK Print and Design, your one-stop print shop.
Fortner didn't care for the shot that Wiebe took down low and went after Cons on it. And the Griffins will go to the power play. 1:58 remaining in the first. 2 minutes on the board. Sin bin brought to you by, or penalty box brought to you by the Westport Flea Market Bar and Grill, home of the best burgers in Kansas City. Neal and Busher check in. Goins and Graham on this penalty kill. Neal wins it forward ahead all the way down into the Griffin zone. This will be touched up by Sullivan. He'll chase after it. Puts a check on up against the wall. Around the half wall, comes out to neutral. Goins dumps it right back in, right at Sullivan. He has to save this one. Now Johnson will grab it. Neal with another forecheck. And now we're going to get a penalty, and this is going to be on the Griffins. Neal draws that, and this will offset the power play for the Griffins. And we'll skate 4-on-4 for the next minute 35, and then the Knights will get a 25-second power play. Neal will step back in. He'll take this face-off against Danbury. Neal wins it off to the side of the half wall, reaches over, slaps it down low. Bronner will grab this one, backhands it up the wall. Graham will hold it, sends one towards Sullivan, wide left. Busher will go off far side, grab this one to his forehand. Brings it to Neal in the slot. Comes to his backhand, tries to center it. Busher had not gone toward the front of the crease. Sullivan jumps on top of it, blows it dead. Face off in the Griffin zone. 1:08 remaining in the first. Knights will switch things up. In will come Brown and McClin. Richter and Brookfield on the forwards. 1:11 remaining on the 4-on-4 skate. Then the Knights to a 25-second power play. Richter wins it down into the corner, cleared around the half wall by the Griffins, goes over far side. Brown will step down, holds it momentarily. Right to the stick of one of the Griffins players, didn't catch the number there. He'll dump it in. Talbert with a glove save. Now sends it off, grabbed by McClin. McClin past Cons. Backhands it into the Griffin zone. Richter will chase it off into the near corner. Nice job by Brookfield getting that steal. Leaves it for Brown. He'll take a shot. Sullivan just goes wide right. McClin will hold it at the blue line. Nice move by McClin. Down into the corner. Pressured by Bronner. And we're going to get a tripping on Bronner. And they'll touch it up. And the Knights will go to the power play now for tripping. So they'll have a 4-on-3 for 21 seconds. And then they'll have a 5-on-3. And now they'll switch up the forwards again with his 4-on-3 power play. In comes Neal, in comes Busher. Neal will win it back to Brown. He'll chip it back ahead over the stick of Neal, goes into the corner. Griffons will try to clear it. Brown holds it. Nice job with the skate work. Sends it up front, past Neal, cleared by the Griffons. McClin will come back, grab this one. 3 seconds, 2, 1. That's the end of the period. So after 1, we're tied at 1. Knights will have a 4-on-3 for 2 more seconds. Then they'll go to a 5-on-3 power play for 26 seconds. Fortner will head back to the sin bin. He'll come out in 2 seconds, so right after this puck drop. So we got Neal and Busher, Brown and McClin. Neal and McClin chatting it up, seeing what they're going to do off this face-off. In will come Fortner. We'll see if he'll head to the bench or hit the ice. Goins looks like he's ready to open the door, so I think he's going to the bench. Neal wins it ahead. In comes Chikine, out comes Fortner. Grabbed by Chikine. He's got Neal in the front, comes around, loses the puck down low. Centers it up front. Oh, just past McClin. Knights are on a 5-on-3 for 10 more seconds. This is McClin. Puts on the brakes, right to the slot. Chikine with a shot, Sullivan with a save, and now it's a 5-on-4. Brown will race back for it. In comes Johnson around the half wall. This will come to Neal. Popped high up into the air, right to the stick of McClin. Stolen by Cons. Big check by Chikine. Quick outlet from Brown. Comes to Busher. Back to Neal. Takes a shot over Sullivan. 50 seconds remaining on the power play. Now it'll be Cons. And he'll dump it right towards Talbert. Goes wide of the net. Grabbed again by McClin. Brings it over near side, Chikine. He'll skate in from the slot. Takes a shot just over the top left corner. McClin can't hold it. Cons gets a steal. 1-on-1 with Brown. Brown will poke at it. Cons comes up with it. Now big check down low. Grabbed by Chikine. And we're going to get a penalty on Busher. Looked like a pretty clean hit to me, but they're going to call roughing. That'll neutralize the power play, so we'll skate 4-on-4 for 18 seconds, and then the Griffons will go to a power play. 11:36 remaining in the second, tied at 1. In will come Richter and Brookfield. I think that's Morrison down there. No, Morrison's on the bench. That's Goins. Goins and Graham. Now it comes out to Brookfield. He'll dump it into the Griffin zone. 5 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. Richter centers it up front. Brookfield can't get a clean shot off. Richter backhands it far side. Griffins go to the power play. Graham shot wide left of the net. Cross ice pass to everyone. Comes back to Graham. He slings it back into the Griffin zone. Back behind Sullivan. Brookfield, nice forecheck, body check. Cleared by the Griffins. Comes out to Goins at neutral ice. Dumps it into the Griffin zone. Big check by Goins as he goes after the puck. Talbert will jump on top of it. McManus is saying he got hit in the head, but big body contact up front. And Goins will go to the sin bin, and this will be a 5-on-3 power play now for the Griffins. Roughing by Goins. Face off in the Knights zone. Sin bin kind of getting full with Knights players now. It was full with Griffins players. Now goes the other way. Danbury and Fortner will take the face off. Fortner wins it near side, cleared by the Knights. Sullivan will touch it up, leaves it for Bronner. Bronner up the right-hand side. Fortner will send him left. Around Fortner, around Becker. Shot, Talbert, save, cleared by Morrison. Cleared by Morrison, out to neutral. Griffins will have to get onside. Bronner will bring, not Bronner. Slapped up, deflected. McManus over to Bronner. Holds it right at the blue line. Shot wide of the net. Rebound, nice recovery by Talbert. She slid over and kept that one in off her right pillow. Bronner, another shot, deflected by Fortner. Johnson will hold this one in for the Griffins at the blue line. 1 second, that's the end of the 5-on-3. Now it's a 5-on-4, in comes Busher. Becker will clear it out to neutral. McManus tries a cross-ice pass, stolen by Busher. Busher will bring it in, up the right-hand side to his forehand. Puts on the brakes, poked away by the Griffins. Becker whiffs on that. Here comes Danbury the other way. Takes a shot. Blocker saved by Talbert. Busher brings it over near side towards Becker. Now Becker up the right-hand side. Back with Cons. Lifts the stick, takes a shot. Sullivan with a save, cleared by the Griffins, and they had Danbury sitting back here. He'll go one-on-one with Talbert. Backhander, Talbot with a save! Knights are back to full strength. Here come the Griffins. Nice job by Chikini. Griffins player thought they had plenty of time for the shot. Chikini comes back, taps on the stick, doesn't get him a clean shot at Talbot. Now Morrison will clear it right to the stick of Cons. Forecheck by Fortner. Cleared back into the Knight zone. Over to Morrison. Over to Neal, near side. Sends it back to Becker. He'll send it back ahead to Neal. Kicks at it, loses the puck. Now dumps it, and that should be an icing and will be.
This game is brought to you by Par Electric. Par puts people first.
Face-off will come back to the Knight zone. 7:53 remaining the second. Knights leading 1-0. Richter, Diaz, and Brookfield check in. Brown and McClin on the defense. One ahead by Richter, right to Brookfield. Brookfield up the right-hand side. Skates back to the middle, loses it to a poke check, right to the stick of Cons. He'll go 1-on-3, pestered by Brookfield, pestered by Brown. Brown gets a body check in, loses the puck. Brookfield in the corner. Bronner holds it for the Griffins. Somebody's twigs laying on the ice, arms in the air. Knights are going to touch it up. And Cons is going to go to the sin bin for cross-checking. 2 minutes. .726 remaining the second. This penalty brought to you by the Westport Flea Market Bar and Grill. Sounds like a good place to hang out and watch the Chiefs play at noon today. Grab yourself a burger. Face-off won by the Griffons, cleared by the Griffons. Knights are on the power play, brought to you by Par Electric. See if we can light up the scoreboard here. Quick cross-ice pass right to McClin from Brown. McClin up through the middle, pushes ahead to Busher. Loses the puck down into the corner, now grabs it near side. Up the half wall, tries a cross-ice pass, goes right to McClin. Sends it over, Chikini shoots, Sullivan with a save! Nice shot by Chikini. Nice save by Sullivan. 1:25 remaining, Griffins clear it. Bounces off the half wall, back behind Talbert. This will be grabbed by Brown, he'll put on the brakes. Playing around with it back there, almost lost it to a back check by the Griffins. Now to McClin. McClin to Chikini, touches to Neal. Pulls back, can't get a shot off. Back behind Sullivan. He's looking, skates to the middle, takes a shot. Save, rebound, and the net's off, and they'll blow it dead. Chikini will limp off to the bench. Knights will switch everybody up. Goins, Fortner's in here. Brookfield, Richter, Diaz. So Fortner looks like he's going to go to the defensive side. .54 seconds remaining on this power play. Brookfield, quick shot, deflected. Can't get a clean one off, comes right back to the point, just trickles past the right post. Now Bronner will clear it. Out into the Knight zone. Goins will come back for this one. Backhands it back out to neutral, right to Bronner. Dumps it back in, delayed offsides. Goins will grab this one, near corner. Got room to skate. 25 seconds remaining. Swiped by McManus. Cleared back out by Johnson into the Knight zone. This will be Fortner. Right to the slot, takes a shot wide of the net. Comes over near side. Slap back down, cleared by the Griffins. Out to neutral, this will be Fortner. McManus will come back for it slowly, but Fortner will get there first. Cleared up the half wall, that's the end of the power play. Big check up against the boards, trickles out. And this is gonna come right to the stick of Goins. Loses it over to Diaz. Diaz up the right hand or left hand side, back to Chikini. He's back healthy. Quick shot, shoots and scores! Kansas City goal! And I'm not even sure who got that one. There was a big mess up in front of Sullivan. Diaz. 55, Michael Diaz. Got that one. Had to get that from Chikini. Another quick shot, shoots and scores. And that's Neal on that one. As he slams into the glass, not really sure what he was doing. It looked like a bird flying into a window. I was still writing down the stat from the last one, and next thing I know, it's already in the net from Neal. It's 2 quick goals from the Knights. Neal with his 15th. Morrison holds it at the blue line. Now, he's going to get a cross check on that one. And the Griffins are going to go to the power play. Oh, they're going to call offsetting. Powell with a little retaliation on Morrison after he cross-checked one of the Griffins players down to the ice. So the Griffins will lose their opportunity for the power play, and we'll skate 5-on-5. Morrison cross-checking, Powell roughing, offsetting. They'll both be eligible to come out at the first stoppage at 2:24. Fortner, Honan, and Wiebe will check in. McClin and Brown on the defense. They'll clear the penalties off the scoreboard since it's a 5-on-5 offsetting penalties here. Fortner wins it down into the corner, grabbed by Bronner. McClin steps up, holds it in past McManus. Off the half wall, comes right to Fortner. He'll take a shot. Goes high up over the glove of Sullivan. Brown will keep it in, sends it back down low. Wiebe will come over near corner. She'll grab this puck. Battling Conroy for it. Conroy comes away with it. Now it's cleared out to neutral. Brown and Danbury will come back. Brown will get to it, sends it up to McClin. McClin through neutral. Back behind Sullivan, looks for the reach around. Sullivan with the save. 3:35 remaining the second. Knights leading 3-1. I have to go back later and see how Neal got that goal. I wasn't paying any attention. I was writing down the stats, and in comes Richter, in comes Brookfield and Diaz. Face off one up high to McClin. He'll go D to Brown. Big slapper wide of the net to Brookfield. Centered back up front. Past Sullivan, goes far side to Brown. Bronner from behind the net. In comes Brown. Loose puck. Brookfield couldn't get a hold of it. McManus tries to clear it. Pops up in the air. Now it's cleared by the Griffins. Right to the stick of Brown. Chips it off the half wall, right to himself. Now he'll skate it in, blue line, dumps it back behind Sullivan. 3 minutes remaining the second. Big check by Brookfield. Griffins can't clear it, bouncing around right in front of the crease. Far side, now it'll be Brown. He'll grab this one, pulls it back into neutral. Knights will have to get on side. Now Brown up the right, comes in. Brookfield's shot off the side of the net. Now they'll blow it dead. Face off in the Griffin zone is up on the back of the netting. 2:40 remaining in the second. Knights leading 3-1. 2 quick goals by the Knights. Diaz from Chikini on one. Neal,
This
no
game
clue on an assist.
This game brought to you by CK Print and Design, your one-stop print shop.
Neal, Chikini, and Busher. Face-off comes all the way back towards Goins. Can't hold it in. Knights will get onside. Goins with the puck. Sends across ice to Busher. He'll bring it in. Loses the puck in the center. Goins will hold it blue line. Takes a shot. Deflected, goes off far corner. Neal will go battle for this one. Neal centers it up front just past the stick of Chikini. Now Neal will cycle it back down low. Cleared back out into the Knight zone. This will be Graham. Back behind Busher. Loses the puck. Johnson up ahead to Maynard. Up to Rhodes. Shot. Blocker save. Talbert. Cleared out by Graham. Another shot wide right by Johnson. Goes off far side. Bronner will hold this one in. Back behind Talbert. Graham will grab this one, kicks it over to Goins. Goins kicks it back behind Talbert, near corner. Comes over, grabs the puck. Chikini backhands it out into neutral. Johnson will take a shot from neutral ice, wide of the net. Graham can't get it cleared. Shot, Talbert, save. Rebound, goes wide of the net. Busher, backhander, can't get it cleared. Now to the stick of Graham. Bounces off of Griffins player, still can't get it cleared. Now Busher will get it out to neutral, right to the stick of Chikini. Up the left-hand side comes Lincoln Chikini, takes a shot, deflected, goes off the glass. Bounces off that glass right back to Sullivan. That'll clear out the penalty box. 1:01 remaining in the second. Knights leading 3-1. Face off at the Griffins end, far side. Fortner, Honan, and Wiebe check in. Becker and Morrison on the defense. Conroy down in the corner. Honan battling. Wiebe right up front. Comes to Honan. Her backhand right to the front of the crease. Cleared out by the Griffins, but comes right back to Honan. She'll take a shot. Sullivan with a save. Over to Fortner. He'll take a shot off the side of the net. Comes right back to him. Cross ice. Becker. Shot. Wide left of the net. Cleared by the Griffins. Bounces off Becker. Now a race for the puck. McManus and Morrison. Nice hustle by Morrison. Becker will come back, grab this one, pushing it ahead to Wiebe. Can't get a hold of this one. Cleared back into Danbury. Round the half wall. Grabbed by Fortner. Fortner left. Over to Wiebe. Down into the corner. Wiebe centers up front. And that's the end of the period. And after two, it's the Knights 3, the Griffins 1. Coming up next, JV2 action. We'll switch over to the Cable Dahmer side of the arena. Quick breakdown. We'll carry everything over there, try to set it back up before the start of that game. Puck drop scheduled for 10:30. Knights versus the Ice Hawks. That'll get over just in time for the Chiefs game. Chiefs taking on the Chargers. Playoff lives on the line for the Chiefs. Pretty much have to win out or they're not going to be in the playoffs for the first time in Mahomes' career anyways. Chargers needing the win to keep their conference championships on the line as Denver's leading that division. All right, we head to the third. Knights leading 3-1. In will come Chikini, Neal, and Busher. Brown and McClin on the defense. Cons and Neal will battle it out. Loose puck, slapped ahead. Busher trying to reach for this one. Now Conroy slaps it ahead. Backhander by Chikini's blocked by Conroy. Loose puck right in front of the crease, popped up by Cons. Neal will get the steal right at the blue line, waits for Chikini to get on side. Now loses the puck. Johnson comes away with it. Johnson will get a shot. Talbert with a save, cleared by McClin. Now Neal up the left-hand side, loses the puck. Cons holds this one in, backhands it down low. Grabbed by McClin. Him and McManus battling it out down there. Now he'll send it to Brown, back behind Talbert, around the half wall, up near side to Busher. Busher's got room to skate. Neal and Chikini ahead of him. They'll stay on side. Busher takes a shot. Sullivan, save. Slaps the glove on top of it. They'll blow it dead. Face off in the Griffin zone. Knights will get some fresh legs out. In comes Fortner, Honan. Wiebe will climb over the wall. Graham and Goins on the defense. Face-off brought to you by CK Print Design. 12 minutes remaining in the game with the Knights leading 3-1. Face-off, Fortner up high to Graham. Shot deflected. Off a skate, goes far side. Rode will try to clear it. Wiebe will hold it in, and now we're going to get a penalty on Goen. He'll let off to the sin bin, brought to you by the Westport Flea Market Bar and Grill. Roughing on Goins. I believe that's his third. Have to watch that one, make sure he doesn't get a fourth. That'll get him a game suspension. 11:50 remain in the game. Griffins go to the power play. Griffins win it, D to D over to Conroy. Shot wide of the net, back behind the net. Now it's grabbed by Morrison, he'll clear it. Down into the Griffin zone, grabbed by Bronner. Forecheck by Brookfield, spins back around, a little time and space, now pushes it up the right-hand side. Comes to Talbert, goes wide of the net. Centered back up front, Talbot will kick it away, and now we're going to get a whistle blown dead. It looks like the net might have come off. Yep, they'll straighten that back out. Face off in the Knight zone. 11:16 remaining in the game. McClin and Brown will check in on the defense. Fast Freddie Richter and Brookfield will stay in there for the forwards. Minute 26 remaining on this power play for the Griffins. Face off Richter to Brookfield, clears it. That was offsides, but they waved it clear. Now it comes to McClin, he'll get it cleared. Right to Cons. Cons will backhand it over near side. Conroy pushes it ahead, tries to get it to Danbury, cleared back out by the Knights. Sullivan pushes it over to Johnson. Johnson to Conroy. Backhander McManus. Down into the Knight zone. Knights can't get it cleared. Johnson skates in, takes a shot. Deflected by McClin. Brown will try to clear it. Johnson will hold it, takes another shot wide of the net. Conroy dumps it back down deep into the Knight zone. Back up high to Conroy, takes a shot, blocked up front. Saved by Talbert. Now near side, Conroy back below Talbert. Brown will battle for it. He'll backhand it near corner. That'll be Conroy. Now cleared by the Knights. Out into neutral ice. This will be Johnson. Takes a shot. Talbert with a save. Goes off into the far corner. Big check up against the boards. Down goes Wiebe. Knights are back to full strength, cleared into the Griffin zone. This will be Johnson. Slings it cross ice. Brown clears it back out to neutral. To Johnson in the Griffin zone. Cross ice McManus. Grabbed by Fortner in the near corner. McManus goes down as Fortner put on the brakes. His clearing pass blocked by Cons. Fortner continues to battle for it. Up the wall, down into the Griffin zone. Cons had some words for the refs there. Ref didn't like it. Now it trickles up from Chikini. Shot from Fortner, bounced up in the air. Centered up front, just past Wiebe. Here come the Griffins the other way. Fortner Graham start retreating. Big check by Fortner on Danbury. Shot, Talbot with a save. Danbury comes right back after Fortner. Little pushing and shoving right there in the crease in front of Talbot. Face-off will be in the Knight zone. In will come Neal, Chikaini, Busher. Big check by Chikaini as he went after the puck. Arms in the air. Chikaini's going to get a penalty. Elbowing by Chikaini. And the Griffins will go to the power play with 8:20 remaining in the game. So Fortner and Graham in on the defense. Neal and Busher on the forwards to try to kill off this 2 minutes. Tied up, left at the dot, cleared by Graham out into neutral. Grabbed by Johnson. Around Neal. Fortner will poke it ahead, right back to Neal. He'll clear it right towards Sullivan. Sullivan will have to save this one, kicks it off to the side. This will be grabbed by Bronner. Out to neutral, grabbed by Busher, cleared back into the Griffin zone. Neal will put a forecheck on. Ties it up against the half wall. Trickled out, Maynard loses it. Fortner back ahead to Busher. Busher will bring it in left. Back to his backhand. Takes a shot, save. Neal rebounds, saved by Sullivan. Graham holds it, trickles out to the middle. Now it'll come out to neutral. Maynard will come after this one. Fortner will grab it. She'll put a check on Fortner. Fortner controls the puck, now loses it to Johnson. McManus around Busher. Squeezed by Fortner and Richter, but can't get it cleared. Johnson will skate in around Graham. Back through the middle. Shot. Talbert. Save. Rebound. Another save by Talbert. Griffins applying some pressure here on this power play. They'll blow it dead. Face-off will be in the Knight zone. JV2 lining up over there in the far corner. Hopefully they switch rinks and we get a play right here. Face-off, Richter to Brookfield. Brookfield will push it ahead, 3-on-1. Tries to go through the middle, has it poked away off into the corner. Johnson and Brookfield will battle for it. Johnson comes away with it for the Griffins. Richter pokes at it. Loose puck, trickles over, comes to Cons. He'll backhand it, nobody there. Morrison, right off of Brookfield skate, comes right to Cons. Cons will bring it in, leaves it for Danbury. Danbury shot, blocker, stick save by Talbert. Back behind the net, centered up front, comes right to Richter. Richter will clear it. That's the end of the power play. Knights are back to full strength. Griffins grab this one, send it up near side Danbury. Broken up, stolen by Wiebe. She'll dump it down into the corner. Danbury will grab this one, back behind Sullivan. Off the half wall, cleared out into neutral. Now Morrison will race back for this puck. Round the half wall to come, near side. Held by the Griffins, Conroy. Off the stick of Becker to Honan. Honan backhands it out in front of Wiebe. Sent back into the Knight zone by Johnson. And that's going to be an offsides. 5:34 remaining.
This game brought to you by CK Print and Design, your one-stop print shop.
5:34 remaining in the game. This will be Diaz taking the center. Honan goes left, Wiebe goes right. Brown and McClin on the defense. Kicked ahead by Diaz. Griffins send it in, that's Bronner. Comes to McClin, he'll send it off the glass, out to neutral. Diaz will battle for it, Bronner off to Honan. Honan will bring it in, sends it over to Wiebe. Wiebe takes a shot, goes wide right of the net, grabbed by Honan, centered up front. Wiebe backhand! Sullivan with a save. Darn it, I want that girl to get one. Honan with a shot right into the glove of Sullivan. And the Knights will switch it up. Neal, Chikini, and Busher will come back in. Brown and McClin stay in on the defense. 5:07 remaining in the game, 3-1 Knights. Neal wins it over far side. Brown will race over, grabs it to his forehand, takes a shot, deflected up front. Now cleared out through neutral, down into the Knight zone. McClin will look over his shoulder, grabs the puck right through the crease. Powell with a forecheck, push it ahead to neutral. Johnson can't get it cleared. Neal will hold it. Now Brown will send it into the Griffin zone, back behind Sullivan. This will be Bronner in the corner, up the half wall. Grabbed by Neal. Sends it to Chikini. Off his skate, goes off far corner. He'll send it back behind the net, Sullivan near corner. Busher's over there, McClin's over there. McClin holds it, sends it back behind the net. Now Johnson will grab this one, a little time and space. Saw Chikini coming at it, loses it. Here comes Neal, takes a shot. Right up front, Busher shoots, saved by Sullivan. Brown will hold it at the blue line, sends it back down deep behind Sullivan. This will be Johnson, forechecked by Chikini. McClin can't hold it in. Now it's a foot race for the puck, Rode and McClin, and we're gonna get an icing on the Griffins. Face-off will come back to the Griffin zone with 3:46 remaining in the game. Knights leading 3-1. Knights will switch it up. In comes Brookfield, Diaz, and Richter again. Graham's in there, and here comes Fortner. Richter wins it over near side. Diaz sends it down low. Richter comes away with it. Nice stick lift by Cons. He'll come away with the puck up the right-hand side, chips it down into the Knight zone. Back behind Talbert. Graham will send it back the other way towards Diaz. Off the glass, comes right to the stick of Richter. He'll send it around the half wall. Griffins hold it, bouncing around in front of the slot. Now it's Danbury. Big check by Diaz. Shot deflected off Conroy. And Griffin players still down onto the ice from the check that Diaz put on him. Now he pops up. Face off. Let's see where they're going to do this one. They're going to bring it out to neutral. That's Danbury. He'll skate off, head over into the Griffins bench. 3:13 remain in the game. Knights leading 3-1. Richter, Brookfield, Diaz. Fortner and Goins. Or no, Graham. Face off, grabbed by Diaz. Skates in left-hand side, around Johnson. Skates in, takes a shot. Sullivan with a save. Face off now in the Griffin zone. Richter will step in on this one. Against Cons, Richter comes away with it, backhand. Goes across the front of Sullivan, right to Brookfield, brought up high. Fortner backhands it, keeps it in the Griffin zone. Back to Fortner. And now we're going to get a couple offsettings. This will be Johnson and Diaz. Throwing some elbows at each other as they were coming back up the half walls. So they'll be able to stop or come back out at the first stoppage after the 43-second mark. Face-off will be right here at neutral ice. Chikini will take this. Honan goes left. Wiebe goes right. Becker and Morrison on the defense. One back to Morrison, chipped off the half wall, up ahead of Honan. Now Maynard will clear it for the Griffins, down into the Knight zone, deflected, so no icing. Becker will come back. Becker around the half wall, goes off far side Wiebe. Can't get it cleared. Now Chikini will get it cleared. Bronner will grab this one, pressured by Honan. To the stick of Chikini. He'll sauce it up near side to Honan. Right to Chikini, takes a shot, wide of the net. Comes over near side. Maynard and Wiebe will battle for this one. Wiebe comes away with it, down in the corner. Now ripped around the half wall. Becker holds it right at the blue line, sends it back down low. Wiebe over near corner. Centers, tries to get it to Honan. Deflected, comes out to neutral. Now it'll be Morrison and Kahns battling for it. Big check by Neal as he comes in, steals the puck. Neal will come racing right through the middle. Down left, centers up front, trying to get it to Honan. But too far up in the air, she couldn't get that one slapped down with her stick. Comes out in the Knight zone, this will be McClin. Sent back into the Knight zone by the Griffins. Over near side Powell, off the wall, grabbed by Neal. Whiffed on the pass as he was looking for Brookfield. Richter comes away with it, sends it over to Brookfield. Right side, nice move through the middle. Takes a shot. Sullivan with the save. 1:01 remaining in the game. Knights leading 3-1. Honan will check back in as a third forward. Richter and Brookfield. McClin and Brown. Richter will come out. Brookfield will take the centers. I don't know if he got kicked out or took himself out. Near side Honan in the corner. Trickles up high to Richter. Can't handle that one. Cleared by the Griffins. Into the Knight zone. Honan will battle up against the corner. Comes out to neutralize. Conroy sends it back in. Slapped down by McClin. Tevis McClin peels back right through the crease. A little time and space. Now he's got room to skate. 28 seconds remaining. Brings it into the Griffin zone. Right through the legs. Now down low. McClin will still battle for it in the corner. Ref right into the way. Had an opportunity to maybe do something, but ref was blocking it up. Oh, man. Brookfield got taken out as he was battling right in front of the crease. Cleared down into the Knight zone. That'll be an icing. They'll blow it dead with 4 seconds remaining in the game. The sin bin will get cleared out. Johnson and Diaz come out. Final face drop of the evening, or the afternoon here, this JV action. 4 seconds left. Graham and Fortner. Richter, Diaz, and Brookfield. Knights leading 3-1. Face off one near side comes to Diaz. He slaps it off the board. That's the end of the game. Final score, Knights 3, St. Joe 1. Thanks for joining us. We're going to check and see if they've switched ice, see if we need to break down or not. JV2 action coming up next, either from this side or over Cable Dahmer.